now we go into 30 minutes of extra time, and what McClintock is doing for Arsenal, you can be sure that Tommy Smith is doing for Liverpool. Tossing up again to see which end they shall play. And I suppose, just to be cussed, Tommy Wilson says, let's all change over and play not the way we were facing, but turn around. And so in other words, Liverpool will now be defending that goal to our right. 15 minutes each way, and more players now have got their socks about their ankles. And we really could have a most dramatic period of extra time now, as tired men raise themselves for one last big effort, and away we go. Kelly now. Kennedy, and Kelly has gone on. Maybe that was what Don Howe was saying. I want you to make some breaks to the middle of the field as well, because you're probably fresher than anybody else. And McClintock allowing that one to go into touch, and back with Bob Wilson. Radford again, taking it back from Kennedy. Finding Graham. Oh, a little bit of space opened up there for George Graham if he could get a shot in. He's found Radford instead, and Radford is stopped by Lawler. In goes Charlie George. McNabb as well, and with Simpson. Lloyd winning it again. Hughes to Thompson, and away on the left is Highway. Still Highway, dangerous indeed! Oh, goal! Oh, that's the goal! Steve Highway for Liverpool! Wilson came away from that near post, and Highway found the gap. A man who has done so little in the game has made the one big strike.
And here it is now. It's the first time he's taken his man on in the game. He's streaked for that line, which he loves doing. Bob Wilson had come too far off his post there, and it was in on the near post. Really, a goalkeeper shouldn't be beaten like that. In fact, we've seen Highway do that before on television. Squeeze it in where the ball shouldn't go.
So Steve Highway, unknown at the start of this season, has put Liverpool ahead in the cup final, and now it'll need all of Frank McClintock's leadership to pull it back. Well, Arsenal can't complain they haven't had the chances, because they have. Down goes Armstrong. McNabb is going on, and the whistle must have gone because the referee is stationary. I don't think McNabb could have heard it with the Kop going mad. So Arsenal's free kick, Peter Simpson with it. A deep and a curling one, and Clements lost it for a moment and got it bravely at the second go, with a fair number of feet flying in on that little incident. Now it's Thompson. Callaghan. Thompson again. And Callaghan. Come and get it off me, he's saying to Bob McNabb. Trying to go around McNabb and succeeding, and Rice putting it behind for the corner. So is McClintock going to be a loser again? Are Arsenal going to have these double dreams dashed from them? Are Liverpool going to repeat their cup final success here of 6 years ago? Well, in the next 25 minutes we shall know, as Peter Thompson now takes this corner. Toshak at the far side again, winning it in the air. Brian Hall! Oh, a fine save by Wilson. From Hall. Wilson did very well indeed there. George Armstrong. Liverpool springing forward now with that great psychological advantage of a goal behind them. Charlie George spraying it forward, but he couldn't find Graham. And Smith to belt it away into that Arsenal half of the field. Simpson now. George Graham. Kennedy. And Armstrong beyond it. Faced by Lawler. Trying to cut inside Lawler and then trying to take on a little too much, but he was down by Tommy Smith. And it's Arsenal's free kick on the corner of that penalty area. And McClintock has come forward for this one. They are delighted as they watch George Armstrong now try to float this corner in when we can get this two-man Liverpool wall back. Armstrong's free kick, and it's low, and it's Smith who's played a fine captain's part for Liverpool, getting it away to the scorer, Highway. Emlyn Hughes has made a great run down the left, but Highway didn't see him, and McNabb took Highway out of the game. Norman Burtonshaw following Bob McNabb. Have a word with McNabb. Looks as though Highway might be down for a minute or two as well.
Well, we can watch now. Here's Highway you're looking quite sprightly here, and there's the late tackle, caught him on the left foot. As he tried to jump, he didn't get over the top of Bob McNabb's tackle, fractionally after the ball had gone, and Highway is still on the floor, still hurt.
And away behind Ray Clement's goal, the Wembley Cop. Well, Highway is all right again. When you've scored a goal in the cup final, I think it takes a lot to keep you out of the game after that. So Liverpool's free kick, Tommy Smith, their skipper, with it. Straight to Wilson. Lindsay getting a boot in first, and Arsenal's throw. Rice forward. Hughes to take the throw for Liverpool. Lindsay. And over the head of McClintock to Highway. Stopped by Simpson, but here's Hall, that tremendous little worker, and what a good pass by Brian Hall. Nobody's played better than Hall on that Liverpool side, and he's found Thompson. But Thompson was denied his shot by McNabb, but here's Hall again. And this time Hall's got past McNabb. A pinky little cross there, and McClintock diving in to get it away. Lawler. Smith. Liverpool looking really dangerous, and here's Hughes. But he couldn't quite control it, and he won't get a second attempt. And it's a goal kick. Great break, though, by Hughes. And Liverpool now looking much the more dangerous side. Lloyd, masterful in the air for Liverpool at the back. Not a good one by Rice, straight to Hughes, and now it's with Highway. Thompson has certainly added a variety to this Liverpool attack since he came on as substitute for Alan Evans. Here's Hughes now to Hall. Hughes again. Dogged by Kelly all the way, and Hughes going on, and finally releasing it for Ian Callaghan. Callaghan looking to take on McNabb. got it across as well, but behind that Arsenal goal for a goal kick. Six minutes to go to the end of the first period of extra time, meaning we have 21 minutes left in all. George Graham trying to whip up a little more enthusiasm from some aching limbs. Lloyd again, magnificent in the air. George Graham, a nice little nod inside there for Kelly. Graham again. Kennedy on the far side, Charlie George in the middle, and that's aimed towards Ray Kennedy, but Tommy Smith there, once more for Liverpool. Armstrong has won it, but will he get time to put it over? Hughes and Lloyd once more, and a corner. Lloyd, the number 5, who really has had a fine game at the back for Liverpool. He's the man challenging Roy McFarlane for the England place, and England so lucky to have players like McFarlane and this fellow Lloyd to contest that number 5 shirt. Armstrong then with the corner. Kennedy, or rather McClintock getting ahead to it. Lawler to pump it away once more for Liverpool. Kennedy. George and Kennedy again. Radford back over his head. Kelly is right in there, playing much more as a striker in this extra time, and it's there! George Graham! It's George Graham who got the touch and makes it 1-1. So 1-1 now. Kelly, who was right up there amongst the strikers.
Well, it was a kind of muddled goal this. The ball went up high. John Radford flicks it up and takes a chance. Says, somebody go for that. And Eddie Kelly goes for it, although he's got no chance. And as the Liverpool defenders dither, George Graham's there, gets a toe to it, and it dribbles past Clements into the net. An untidy goal, but at this stage of a cup final, they're just as effective, untidy or not.
So now they've got to do it all over again, Liverpool. Highway to Charlie George. Well, George Graham has now scored 15 goals of the season, but not one as valuable as that one. Charlie George, John Radford. And now have Liverpool got the reserves of stamina and character to come back again. That's the Arsenal crowd, silent a moment ago, and now as delighted as the Kop were. The Kop silent, and the Arsenal bench not looking too happy, but I think they must be. George Armstrong in for Radford. And now Hughes to break away for Liverpool. Finding Peter Thompson. Toshak struggling up behind him, still a victim of this cramp. And Kelly to turn it back to Wilson. And I would think with so many tired men out there, the drama is not over yet by any means. Kelly now surging forward for the Arsenal. Armstrong, and he's all right, says the linesman. He's not offside. Turn back. Radford going in and Kelly going in, and Clements holding it and keeping it brilliantly. Really magnificent goalkeeping again by this Liverpool player. And now we really have got a match, because there seem to be more and more open spaces now as men seem to be just too much exhausted to fill them. Thompson cross there to look for Toshak, and Charlie George to turn it back to Bob Wilson. McNabb. A long one forward, Kennedy to chase it, but Lawler gets on the end of it. Kennedy again. For once shaking off Tommy Smith, and he finds Radford. Driving one straight into the arms of Clements, watching that like a hawk, and his body and his hands behind it from Radford. Oh, but here's more space now for Kennedy. John Radford. Armstrong to look for Radford again. Tired limbs, it seems, in that Liverpool defence, but Clements is so sure. Now Peter Thompson. Flipping through. Callaghan stopped by Charlie George. Eddie Kelly. George Graham. George Armstrong. Kelly's made another run. There's Kelly in a bit of space. Lloyd coming across to cover it. Highway to take it up now for Liverpool. Toshak. Coming so close now to the end of this first period of extra time. 1-1. Thompson trying to switch it towards Hughes, but it's Arsenal's throw. George Graham. Kennedy. Graham again. McNabb's gone marauding down the left. There's Bob McNabb. Charlie George. Kennedy, hoping, I suppose, that the ball might come through to George again, and it might still yet. No, it won't now, because Lindsay is there to nod it away for Liverpool. Thompson to take up the running now for Liverpool. Highway over on the right. Thompson. Toshak now, can he get the shot in? Well, a very feeble one from John Toshak. And Lawler down in trouble at the other end of the field, getting some treatment from Ray Clements. And so it'll be Wilson now with Lawler all right again. And the end of the first period of extra time. 15 minutes to go. Still doing his captain's work. And whether it's in any way significant or not, it seems that Arsenal are much more prepared now to go on with this game. Liverpool hanging back a little bit. It's Arsenal who seem to want to get on with it. And Tommy Smith here, bringing water out of his shirt. I'm not sure that could all be sweat, because I noticed that Bob Paisley is taking a big white bucket back to the trainer's bench. But a cooling down process obviously required in that little break there. So away we go then for the last 15 minutes of this 1971 Cup final, and we stand at 1-1. Hall. And Liverpool's free kick. Lindsay to Thompson. Lindsay calling for it. Lindsay getting it and turning it first time to Toshak. But that went off an Arsenal player, it looked to me. But referee Burtonshaw has given the goal kick. Kennedy. Kennedy going on and driving it, but against the... I thought it looked as though against the body of Lloyd, but clearly it couldn't have touched Lloyd because it's Liverpool's goal kick.
A remarkable performance really by Ray Kennedy in his first ever cup final at the end of his first season. Still going, still running all the time in position for the ball, still laying it off, keeping the attack moving. Not had enough luck really to get a goal, but who's to tell? There's still time yet.
As Thompson finds Callaghan and in turn seeks out Highway on this right touchline. Thompson. And Thompson again. Tommy Smith. And McClintock nodding that one powerfully away for the Arsenal. This time though it only went as far as Tommy Smith. And now Alec Lindsay for Liverpool. Toshak with his head. But Toshak, it seems, has gone. He really seems to have nothing left to offer Liverpool now. His legs are rubbery. He really has been a victim of the crap. Kennedy again, Hall, Lawler. And now Callaghan. Arsenal there, in fact, appealing for offside, but nothing given, and another Liverpool player goes down. I think it's Brian Hall is down. The agony on a man's face when he's suffering from cramp. Charlie George, a good-looking ball out there to Rice, and into Charlie George again. The referee allowing the game to go on. Kelly now for the Arsenal. Driving it though against Larry Lloyd. Armstrong, can he curl this one back? Lindsay, who seems to be going as strongly as ever, getting in. So it's going to be Radford to take a long one. George Graham again is waiting, close to that near post. There's Graham looking to get in, but in fact it's the head of Lloyd. George Armstrong to nod it back again. Tommy Smith for Liverpool. Highway. Still Highway. Oh, what a good-looking ball there for Callaghan as well. But Arsenal are funneling back, and that seems to have finished Highway. Rice nodding it away. Arsenal, if anything, pained though they must be by all this exertion of the afternoon, seem to be lasting just a little bit better at the moment than Liverpool. Brian Hall. Hall again, and a deep cross to Thompson. Thompson doing well, and a good cross by Thompson. Toshak with a chance on the far side. Lindsay to follow it in, and Armstrong now to bring it away for the Arsenal. George Graham. And a long ball to Kennedy, and Kennedy is onside. But he hadn't quite got the power to get there, and Tommy Smith had a tremendous piece of defence. Smith giving the linesman a few words. He thinks that Kennedy was offside, but Mr. Q said no, he wasn't. But a superb piece of defence by Smith for all that. Lloyd has played well, and Clements, two great heroes in this Liverpool defence, and Smith. But we're going to have Radford, who looks as though he's going to take another long throw. Aiming again towards George Graham. Lawler, in fact, who got ahead to that one. Simpson! Turned it back over his own head. McNabb meeting that one. Sweeping it to Armstrong, whose legs now look so pale, but they've still got some running in them. Charlie George has gone in, but that wasn't a good one by Armstrong. Radford disgusted with it. I don't think Charlie George was very happy. Radford, in fact, was beyond that Liverpool defence. And one floated over the defence by Armstrong might have been very dangerous indeed. Graham, Radford, Charlie George. Radford. Oh, Charlie George, who can hit him? Oh, Rodrigo! Charlie George! Oh, what a fabulous goal by George! Clements had no chance with that, and that puts us into the lead.
A marvellous goal there from Charlie George, absolutely superb. A good ball there from John Radford. He sees his moment and then whack. Look how far it is from the post. Inches, fantastic goal.
And now we have the side of Arsenal players on the ground. Graham was down, Rice was down, they're on their feet again, and the Arsenal crowd are absolutely delirious, because Arsenal now are less than 10 minutes away from doing the double. Charlie George, a tremendous goal for a tremendous Arsenal comeback. Now Thompson, and now the onus so much on Liverpool. Callaghan, Toshak at the far side, but nothing left, and Wilson is there to grab it. Now it's George Armstrong to John Radford. Looking for Charlie George again, but Lloyd is there with him. Oh, that was a good piece of play by Lloyd. Heartbreaking, of course, for Liverpool when you see how well some of their players have played, Lloyd and Clements and the indefatigable Tommy Smith, but here they are facing as big a challenge as ever they'll face. 2-1 down, and now something like 7 minutes left. Liverpool's free kick, and McClintock perhaps sensing now that that losing run of his at Wembley may be ended. Charlie George, that brilliant second goal, but Highway with the throw now for Liverpool, who scored a fine first goal for Liverpool. Lindsay to cross it again, Toshak rising and getting it, and Lawler! This time Lawler's down with a cramp, and again you get the feeling that Arsenal are lasting this most punishing pace just a fraction the better.
Very sporting moment there, the Arsenal players hoisting Lawler to his feet, having had a shot which nearly made it a 2-2 draw.
They come from North London. Lloyd again winning balls in the air, and Lindsay, who's been a tough little battler at number 3. Highway and Simpson blasting that high into touch and into safety. The clock for once very quiet indeed, as we are now left with 5.5 minutes. Thompson, Lindsay, Lindsay to take this free kick for Liverpool, and that'll go for a goal kick. So many fine performances now, brave performances. It's going to be difficult to decide who are the best 3 players for our ITV competition. This time Kennedy has beaten Lloyd in the air. This is Charlie George away, but Smith to beat him. Back to Ray Clements. Toshak to look for Thompson, but beaten by McNabb. Hall, superb game that Hall has had for Liverpool. Thompson and Kelly breaking out of that defensive ball, but finding Lindsay only, and so Thompson again. Highway. And Toshak again winning it in the air, but Bob McNabb there to get it away. Smith beating Kennedy. Smith, who really seems to have been unbeatable this afternoon. What a brave comeback by the Arsenal. That 1 goal down in this most punishing extra time, and now 2-1 up. With a little over 3 minutes left, down goes Highway again, and the foul given against Eddie Kelly. to soldier on. Just 3 minutes to go now. Arsenal 2-1 ahead. And the skipper puts another one into that Arsenal penalty area. Toshak once more rising for it, and again nodding it in. Lawler there to try and nod it home a bit further. But now Peter Thompson across that goal again. Lloyd has gone right up. One last desperate fling by Liverpool. And now Charlie George. Kennedy to Kelly. Good control by Eddie Kelly. George Armstrong. George Graham. Eddie Kelly. And Arsenal's throw. Now a little over 2 minutes left. And now Kennedy over his head, but behind that Liverpool goal. Well, there's no time to waste for Liverpool now. Clements sprinting to put that ball down for this goal kick. Simpson, a long one. Kennedy and Lloyd poised beneath it, and it's Lloyd who gets ahead to it. Now Armstrong. Radford. With a shot, again well saved by Clements. Lawler. Callaghan. And Simpson very quickly onto that one that was going loose. Smith turning it back first time to Callaghan. Now into the final minute of extra time. Arsenal 2-1 up, 1 minute away from the double, last completed by Spurs 10 years ago. Simpson going to nod that one away for the corner, and this really could be the last crisis point for the Arsenal. Wilson, who's got to face this crisis. So many Arsenal players back, only Charlie George now is out of his own penalty area as Brian Hall takes the corner at last gasp for Liverpool, and Wilson is equal to it. You get the feeling that nobody really had enough strength in that Liverpool attack to lift themselves and offer an aerial challenge. And it's all over, and Arsenal have won, and they've done the double. Frank McClintock, his losing streak at Wembley is over. 4 times here a loser, and now a brave and brilliant winner. Liverpool players lying exhausted on the turf, shattered after going up and then falling behind. So Arsenal, what a week. On Monday they clinch the league championship, and 5 days later they complete the double. Even the Kop are paying tribute, I fancy, to their own brave heroes and to the Arsenal as well, because that's the sort of fair-minded crowd that come from Liverpool. Well done, the Kop. A magnificent double, says the scoreboard for the Arsenal. Hard luck, Liverpool, and nobody would argue with that. McClintock, the old man of the party, and Kennedy, the number 10, the youngest player on the field. Frank McClintock. Bob Wilson put his arms around him, and what a cheer for McClintock as he goes up to get the FA Cup. I should think, tired though he is, he must be savouring every step, every embrace, and every moment. What a week. League championship, back in the Scottish party, Footballer of the Year, and in a moment to hold the FA Cup aloft as well. What a smile. From His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, the cup goes to Frank McClintock and the Arsenal. Dr. Stephen, the chairman of the FA, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Kent, and there it is for that wonderful crowd of Arsenal. There can't be a moment to touch it. Bob Wilson and our friend Bob McNabb, scorer of that brilliant winning goal, who wins a golden boot worth £1,000, Charlie George, John Radford, George Armstrong, Ray Kennedy at only 19, Eddie Kelly, that brilliant substitute, George Graham, who got the first goal that put Arsenal back in it, Peter Storey, injured, who went off, Peter Simpson and Pat Rice and Tommy Smith, and rightly a tremendous ovation also for Liverpool. And little Brian Hall, what can you do, he said, what can you do? Chris Lawler and Peter Thompson. Steve Highway, who scored the Liverpool goal, and John Toshak, Ian Callaghan and Alec Lindsay, and Bertie Mee there with the cup and Frank McClintock and Don Howe. I like Charlie George's hat. Well, who on earth can you put as the top three players in this competition to win our little competition on ITV? A kiss to the crowd, and one suspects probably to his wife up in the stand as well, from Bob Wilson. For losers, of course, Wembley after a cup final is no place for the losers, but Liverpool have been such brave losers. Liverpool already beginning their lap of honour as the losers. First going to the Arsenal end, where they are quite rightly getting a tremendous ovation from that Arsenal crowd. But this really is where the Arsenal voices are directed to Frank McClintock and that magic cup.